let's set the scene. We're all locked in our homes. The virus is spread like wildfire. We're all locked in our homes, and our way of life as we know it has changed drastically. So what do? When we're locked in our homes with only our TVs or entertainment to keep us entertained, we turn to streaming services. And what better way to try and regain some magic, or hold on to the magic that we once had from previous life, than to turn to our pals Disney. From Pixar to Marvel to Star Wars to Star, the magic of Disney can continue on the streaming services, providing us entertainment from past to present and eventually to future. Did you know that Disneyland is being used as a vaccination center? Okay, so I'm not really here to talk about the streaming service or even the company Disney for that matter, the giant global phenomenon that basically is ruling everything with an iron fist! I'm talking about very early Disney cartoons. The world of animation was brand new. Walt Disney was at the forefront of this and considered one of the godfathers of animation. His primary creations basically led a revolution that would take the world by storm. As an animation enthusiast, hobbyist, and former student of the actual practice itself, I actually take a lot of reference to Disney films, shows, and creations, not just for entertainment, but for like a look back to the very early days of animation when cartoons were done on paper rather than on computers like we do it today. And the figurehead of this whole world, one simple yet effective character that took the world by storm, Mickey Mouse. His adventures really shined a light on the absolute potential of cartoons and storytelling for years to come. And not only is his character design really simple, but it's so recognizable that for many years it was used as the logo for not just Disney, but as a figurehead for the land of magic, Disneyland. And that's why anywhere you go, everywhere you turn, it feels like that Mickey Mouse is just there, watching, waiting. What next expenditure will Disney get a hold of next? No one knows. It just seems like that everywhere you go, you can't escape the mouse. Sorry, I got a little bit carried away there. The point is, Mickey Mouse is really, really translatable. Not just to cartoons, but to, music, posters, and even the world of video games. And that's an area I really want to explore right now with this game. What I have here right now is a double cartridge that features two games, both starring Mickey Mouse and his right-hand man, Donald Duck. Well, technically Pluto, if you're talking about it in a canonical sense. But what's this rabbit sticker doing here? Hold on. But this double cartridge features a classic among Sega video games right here. Today, we're going to have a look at the Sega Mega Drive release of Castle of Illusion. It's really interesting. It seems like Sega and Disney really had a strong working relationship. I mean, recently Wreck-It Ralph got released, and Sonic the Hedgehog featured really heavily in that film, and Ralph was used as a character in Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing Transformed, which is a fantastic game. But yeah, it seems like whenever Disney releases something on Sega, it's going to have really strong reception, so maybe we're in for a good time here. I definitely remember loving and playing this game a lot when I was a child, so does it still hold up today? Well, let's wrap our brains around this wonderful masterpiece. So the story of this game, unlike the last game we reviewed, is incredibly simple. Mickey and Minnie are frolicking through the woods, enjoying each other's companies, having a grand old time, until a wicked evil bitch of a witch called Ms. Rebel sweeps Minnie off of her feet and steals her away from Mickey, taking her all the way to her Castle of Illusion. Turns out Ms. Rebel was always jealous of Minnie's beauty. Miserable takes Minnie back to the castle to try and steal her essence of beauty so that she can become beautiful herself. So our valiant hero Mickey Mouse must rush to the Castle of Illusion and save his one true love. Waiting for him is a kind old elder mouse who warns him of the 5 Masters of Illusion which he must defeat, and informs our hero that he needs to gather the 7 Chaos the 7 Rainbow Gems in order to create a bridge that will lead his way to Miserable. Yeah, there isn't really much to go into in terms of story. Honestly, I think it honestly does the job just right. It gives you enough details to go into the game head on, and actually gives you a drive and a motive to actually play. But seeing that this is a game made for more younger audiences, I guess there really is no need to really go further into any nitty-gritty details of the story, but again, it's enough to keep you motivated. Though I guess I wish there was a bit more dialogue to explain the different Masters of Illusion and what their purpose of all this is. But then again, this is the Castle of Illusion, and illusion is kind of the whole thing here, so we don't need any unnecessary exposition. We've had enough of that as it is. Where this game really shines though is the gameplay, and oh my god, the gameplay. Let's get into the gameplay right now. The momentum of Mickey actually does make a lot of sense. I mean, he's just walking along, doing the dancey dance to all the music here, and actually, his combat style is actually pretty fun. This is actually a good chance to get into the controls of this game because they're really simple. 2 buttons are used to shoot and 1 is to jump. So if I show you what to do, press C to jump, press C while in mid-air to do this bomb attack, press B or A to shoot your projectile which you collect around the stage. Really fun stuff. Nothing too fancy like that. It's all just good, wholesome fun. It may look slow, but it doesn't feel slow, if you know what I mean. Basically, everything just sort of feels like it's going at the right pace, and it might look slow to you, but that's because I'm playing on my Mega Drive, which is at 50 Hz in PAL, where you might be used to playing a 60 Hz NTSC. So your version may be faster than mine, but the point stands, it doesn't actually feel like it's dragging on. It always sort of feels like everything's just chugging along at the right pace. It's not a long game anyway, so there's no worry about wasting time or anything. You can get this game done in between 45 minutes to an hour. It took me about an hour and 5 minutes, but then again, this was actually the first time I've ever beaten the game. I know, I'm shocked as well, but there is a reason for that. As much as I love the gameplay and the controls, they aren't perfect. I mean, when it works well, it works well. But in the moments where it doesn't work well is when sometimes the level design or the controls are really tight and you have to make that really tight jump. Sometimes it's not that easy to make. Also, because of like some awkwardness with maybe the hitboxes, you may just miss that one jump that might take a point off of your life. It's not completely distracting to the entire game. Again, you can get through this easily. But it is annoying when you're trying to get a combo when taking down enemies. Especially in the last level, I don't know if it's either the Sega Mega Drive controller or maybe it's just the level just being really tight, but oh my god, the amount of times I died to this one section and I'm just right there before the gem, and oh, I just couldn't stop falling into the pit. And it didn't help matters that Mickey is partly slippery, not entirely slippery, but there's enough slip on him to almost not land on the platform perfectly. So in those sections, you kind of have to be really careful with what you do. Again, it is easy to learn the controls, the gameplay, and the mechanics in order to make it work, but if you're a first-time player, you may have to take a couple game overs. Trust me, if you've had trouble with this game before in the past, it will feel like the ultimate reward to finally beat the game at your own pace. And again, it's not like there's any time limits or anything. You don't have to actually rush through the game. So if you're not the kind of person that needs to rush through a game, don't worry. I think partly the reason why I got fooled into thinking this game was easy was because of how it looks. This game is really soft. it actually just looks absolutely stunning. This is obviously funded by Disney, of all people, so it's going to have that attention to detail. Everything just looks and feels just about perfect here. Picturesque is probably the word. It's hard to make a game look good on 16-bit, but Disney and Sega, like I said, they have that magic. Though there are some parts that might make you step back and think, is that actually part of the background, or can I step on it? Usually in this game that actually isn't a problem. Everything pops out so you know where to go. So it doesn't like hold your hand throughout the way, but it does leave enough roadmaps for you to get to your destination. But that doesn't mean it's perfect. There are some times where you might have had to second guess something, or maybe let's say the hitbox might be just a slightly bit too big or small. So you're not really sure if you're going to make your target. There is no like running button here, not like any other game I'm going to be reviewing next. So you kind of have to plan your next jump very carefully. That is if you're not being gunned down by giant freaking apples, Jesus Christ! What did Snow White do to Mickey to make her mad? Obviously navigating the levels will be much easier as long as you know exactly what you're doing, or if you're a long-time fan of the game like moi. What I'm also a fan of is the happy, bouncy soundtrack that actually fits really well with this game. Again, Disney has been at the forefront for making incredible music to go along with the animation, whether they hire someone in or they just have an amazing studio themselves. It fits the aesthetic of each different level just perfectly, and it actually kind of makes you feel more involved in the adventure as well, like it sort of pops out at you. And the sound effects are really charming too. Some are sparkles, some are just fun jumps, and honestly, for the Mega Drive, it may not have the same audio qualities as the Super Nintendo, but it honestly just adds lots of charm to the game itself, and some sounds actually sound almost crystal perfect, as if it doesn't really belong on the Mega Drive, like the spring in the toy level, or the sign of the sparkles when you jump on an enemy, or kill an enemy. Even some songs that I don't like in this game, like the ones in the Haunted Castle, honestly kind of fit the mood of the game really well. The whole purpose of a soundtrack is to enthrall you into the experience that you're playing. So if the soundtrack isn't adjacent to the actual level or the game itself, then it's going to be very polarizing and you're just not going to have a good time. Everything just needs to be in perfect motion, and honestly, from what I've seen, everything in this game is pretty much in perfect motion. You have mystical soundtracks that go with very mysterious looking levels. You have frantic music for boss levels. You have unnerving music for really hard and scary levels. It just fits. It just feels right. Alright, we did it. We defeated Ms. Rebelle, we made her good again, and we saved Minnie. Now it's time to escape the castle, continue frolicking in the woods, and live happily ever after. All those Mickey heads. And there's Mickey and Minnie in the middle. What's happening? So everything around them has just turned into a mouse? Sorry, I kind of blacked out there a bit. Maybe I'm just reading too much into conspiracy theories. Maybe I need to take my hat off for a minute. Well, despite the overabundance of the mouse being everywhere, this is a fantastic game. I mean, sure, yeah, nowadays the company might have too many fingers in too many pies, but it's nice to come back to a time where, in the childhood mind and the simplistic mind, we all loved Disney. It sucks that I could not beat this game as a child, but then again, it takes a lot for me to get through a video game nowadays. Even though I love the things, sometimes it'll take me 5 or 6 tries before I get it perfectly, but that's okay. The whole point of the video game is not the destination, but the journey. Sometimes you don't need a great explanation as to what's the other side, you just have to go along with it. And going along with this game is just something that has filled me with joy that I haven't felt in a long time, and we can thank the lockdown because of that. And actually, you don't even have to exclusively enjoy this on the Mega Drive. There was the HD remake that released on Steam, and there's even a version for the Sega Master System. Maybe I'll come back to those later and see if the games still hold up then, or if they did any justice to the original. But for now, it's time for me to rate this game, so let me just wrap my brain around that for a second, use my brain waves to sort of think about it. Okay, I think we have a good ending score here. Castle of Illusion on the Sega Mega Drive gets a very well-deserved 8.5 out of 10. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. If you think I could have improved on anything, any feedback would be helpful. Otherwise, if you like this video, please give this video a like and subscribe to my channel for more game reviews. I will also be playing this game on Twitch, so please follow my channel at twitch.tv/phantombrain. I hope you can all check me out there. Other than that, thanks for checking out this video. This has been Phantom Brain, and don't be afraid to think outside the box. Thanks for watching.